Hello dear students. Today in this video I am going to tell you about chapter number 2, The Thief's Story, which is written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is a famous Indian writer in English and he was born on 19 May 1934. And he is very much recognized as a leading writer in English, and particularly he is very much known for his short stories. So let's discuss about the theme of the story, that is the thief's story. Ruskin Bond's The Thief's Story is more than a thief's story because the story is going to deal a lot about the basic human values and relationships. Actually, it's easier for a thief to rob a greedy man, but it will become even more difficult if he has to rob a careless and an honest man. So Hari Singh did steal Anil money, but he could not run away with it. Actually, he was having no friend, and the only person that Hari Singh was knowing was Anil only, whom he has robbed. And moreover, Anil was ready to educate Hari Singh, and the thief's conscience pricked him, and he came back to Anil and crept to his bed, and he slipped the money under the mattress from where he had stolen it a few hours ago. Now let's talk about the chapter highlights. In this chapter, what you are going to have. First thing, a small-time 15-year-old thief who calls himself Hari Singh befriends a struggling writer Anil. Hari's purpose is to steal Anil's money. And Anil is a good fellow who wants to teach Hari Singh how to read and write. But gradually, Anil develops trust in Hari Singh. But Hari Singh has been waiting for the moment, that is the right moment to make a killing by doing what he is best at, that is stealing, of course. But after stealing the money which Anil had earned by selling a book to the publisher, Hari Singh tries to run away forever. But there was something inside him which was actually stopping him from doing so. So he returned back to Anil because he realizes that he wants to live a life of respect. And Anil does not show that he knows about the thief and accepts Hari Singh with open arms. Thus, a well-intentioned person tries to reform a teenager who has strayed with the correct path. Now, next thing which I really want to tell you is this, that regarding this chapter, two persons' character sketch are to be prepared by you. First is Hari Singh and Anil. Second is Anil. So whatever content needs to be there in the character sketch is here in the picture, and you can refer to the picture for the content. So now let's talk about the value points. There are some value points which are there in the chapter. Let's talk about them. First is, actually no one is born criminal. It's situations and circumstances that lead them to wrongdoings. Stringent practices or punishments are not the only mean to change a person. There are certain other means also by which we can change a person. A compassionate heart and a kind gesture can transform an individual. Your conscience will never ever lead to anything that is evil. A well-intentioned person tries to reform a teenager who has gone astray from the correct path. And the importance of human value and relationships is very much given in the chapter, because Anil, who was a 25-year-old tall and lean man, he managed to change a person who was a thief. So let's talk about now the justification of the title, that is the title justified or not. Actually, the central character of the story is a thief. The whole story revolves around him, and his perspective is presented in the lesson. His journey of evolution from a petty thief to a respectable man is full of lessons. The narrator reveals the clever findings of the victim, his entrapping them, and finally how he managed to elope them and escape unhurt from the scene. And it's likely that he would have done the same to Anil also. But the goodness and helping attitude of Anil reforms Hari Singh, who ran away with money. However, he couldn't bound her. He returns back to serve his master for his own betterment. Hence the title, The Thief's Story, is very much justified. Now in the ending part of the video, I want to tell you about the message which is there in the chapter for you. What is message? What's the message? Hari Singh was very happy and excited when he learned to write his name. Because he was a thief, he was not knowing how to read and write. But once Anil taught him, he felt very much excited. He was very, very excited when Anil promised to teach him to write whole sentences. And he knew that being an educated man would add to his abilities. But when he left Anil's house, he realized that steering was completely different to getting educated, and so his desire to receive education made him return to Anil. Why he returned to Anil? Because he wanted to learn, he wanted to get himself educated. Thus, a person's life could be changed if he meets a mentor who can guide, who can help him to choose the right path in life. So, this is all about the chapter. Thank you so much for joining.